Okay, you froze there for a moment. I'm beginning to wonder if it's on my end. Boy, I hope not. I hope this Wi-Fi extender I bought that I just installed yesterday is going to do the job.
We're live right now, so nobody that I can see is viewing, but I'm going to hope that as well. But if you freeze, I'll let you know. Not that you'll see it. Where's the... Hang on here. Start my video.
I came with a really good idea for the presentation. We can talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, I can't wait to let people know about that.
Yeah,
all right, give me a second here. Hang on. While people are coming in, I see a few people are here. It's going to be a really good show tonight too.
I spread the word to about 7 or 8 groups. Well, I used the nice slider you made.
Oh, and if anybody is watching us on YouTube, I hope that they'll let us know. It does seem like that. Oh, I do. 2 people are watching us from YouTube already. Hi.
Yeah, it says live.
Yeah, I can see here who is watching it. I am just trying to get us going before we actually start the show to get the live stream. Those are my corgis barking, everybody. There we are. Okay. All right. Let's call upon Mr. Owl. Oh, we got more people from YouTube. Thank you, everybody. All right, here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Here we are. It's the Mary and Jerry show. Oh, I turned down my sound here. Anyway, we kind of are doing a pop-up show here Monday night to let everybody know what we've got going on this weekend, which is why we wanted to surprise everybody. And Jerry and I always have a lot to talk about, but we're also wanting to tell everybody about Jerry's new presentation. For anybody that's in Florida that's listening and is interested in Jerry's work, which is obviously why you're here, it's really exciting. So first of all, hi, Jerry.
Hey. Hi, Mary Ellen.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, too. Recovering from our little cold snap.
Yeah. What was it this morning when I was 38, I think it was early this morning when I was heading out. And
my plants,
got up. Yeah.
My plants think it's too cold. Yeah.
Yeah. It went from 38 during the day to, I think, a high of like 68 or whatever it was. I don't know, high 60s. But it was nice. Beautiful day.
Yeah, agreed. I grabbed a jacket when I left. It was before 60 when I left the house about noon. And then I realized when I got outside that was definitely going to be overkill. So I just got a light jacket. You just never know with Florida. So but feeling for our friends in the northern states.
California too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think that's going to become a more regular thing, unfortunately. The weather just isn't how we remember it, from decades ago. It's hard to watch all the devastation with the properties and the land and then the animals too. Different animal groups are succumbing. Unfortunately, the manatees being one of them. As the waters are warmer here, there's more red tides and the algae or lack of food for them to eat. Did you hear about the killer whale that washed up on the beach?
Washed up. I did.
Yeah. That's insane that a killer whale would be in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just, anyway. So, we send the best and highest to them, but, yeah. So anyway, what we were planning to talk about tonight was karma. So before we really get into it, tell me what's going on. What are you watching right now on your streaming, or what's kind of got your attention right now?
Well, what was it, last night or night before? I can't remember what. And they were doing this show, the news channel, nation, it was either CNN or Fox or somebody, I think it was CNN, and they were interviewing something about UFOs. And all I heard was Mary's voice in the living room going, "Jerry, come here." So, because, I've always been interested in it since I was, probably 15 or 16. And they're talking about all the undocumented. And, and just a lot of this, I think we've always wondered what happens when metaphysical things of a nature, and even if it goes mainstream, right? And whether we consider UFOs and aliens and ETs metaphysical, I'd say it's outside of the normal realm. And when those things start to get into, credible news sources that they're reporting on it, because they're going, I got to be first report on it. When it came to recognizing beings from outside the planet, that there could be other life, as I said many times, I'm Catholic and there's a lot of things I struggle with, but the Catholic Church was the first to recognize that life, I'm not saying they're ahead of the curve, but I think they want to, beat the rush, right? And they recognize that beings, so all these things are coming to, kind of fruition, kind of divine fruition or divine intervention or sixth sense intervention, however you want to phrase it, however you want to call it. They were saying a month ago that they found some things of Atlantis. I know that's one of your areas of expertise. And normally that would have been buried on the back page somewhere in this. And so when I was watching this thing on UFO, it was an interview with the gentleman who was an astrophysicist, probably mispronounced that. And he was talking about, there's all these, all of a sudden, to us, it's not all of a sudden. It's just a lot of these sightings they can't explain. And when you can't explain it, okay, you have to investigate it somehow. And and so you're looking at all this starting to come together. That's that ascension kind of awareness, bringing people's awareness to things outside of what we would normally consider normal.
Yeah. What was the show that you saw? Do you know what channel it was on?
It was an interview. It was a news piece, but I think it was on CNN.
I saw a show last week. I literally could not believe it, on PBS. And it was a documentary style format, although it was fictional, about the day after that they have proved that there is life outside the planet. And it starts with them finding that wow radio signal. I don't know if you remember that from decades ago, where they knew it was coming from somewhere.
Yes.
But then it progresses to, proof that there is other sentient beings out there. And it's just going to blow our paradigm wide open in a good way, I think, because right now, all we are concentrating on is what's right. Like we're in a fishbowl. Yeah. And once we realize there's so much more out there, it's going to lead to more spiritual, evolution, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. We tend to look at what right is in front of us. We can touch, feel, hear, see, the five senses. It's almost like, dare we look around the corner? Dare we look around the corner at mediumship or psychic abilities or past life regression or all this stuff. Or the fact that we're not it, we're not it. We're not alone in the universe. And
right.
Yeah. I think it's an exciting time.
There's so much that plays into that. For example, some of the engineering that they have, which I believe, based on credible sources that are out there, not, YouTube videos or Twitter, that the government does have engineering, but some of it is, it works with our bodies and our thoughts. So I can't it's not bioengineering, but it's something similar to that.
Yeah.
That we have to, and there is going to be credible things that you can find right now that aren't spaceships, in other words, that they're working on right now with technology. But when we can open up our minds to understand there's so much more than what we know right now, again, it's just going to, you have to believe something to see it. Sometimes it's a saying, but
Yeah.
once you can just open your mind, you're going to see. But my understanding is they're seeing UFOs regularly in Sedona and off the coast of Southern California all the time. That's why it's not even on the news. They see them so much. I've got a friend who is a UFO hunter. He'll take you on a guided tour, and he guarantees your money. If you do not see at least one verifiable UFO in the sky, he'll give you your money back.
Wow.
And he's never
Wow.
given anybody his money back. So, and it's not like a silver disc that comes over beaming lights down and sucking
Yeah.
up a cow into the, it's going to be lights that are in the sky, but they'll stop. They've got lasers and pointers, and they'll power up, and then they might stay for a while. They might come into become more than one light source. Really interesting stuff. That's a whole nother show. Anyway, we're getting off track, but really neat stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Was it last year? Netflix ran a show. I think there's like 6 or 8 episodes on, and I don't know what it was titled. One was on mediumship. I think you and I talked about it. One was on mediumship. One was on past life regression. This child remembered, this 8 or 9-year-old said he was somebody else, and they looked it all up, and they were like, this is a B actor from the 30s and 40s. How does he remember this? But the one thing they did, they went over to somewhere, and I'm near Tibet, and they ran across these whole community of almost like monks, and all they did was sit there and meditate and connect to source, connect to things outside the earth. And they ran this infrared, and they could see just the light and the energy within them. And they stopped to this one gentleman who couldn't speak English. Like I said, they're almost like Thailand or someplace like that. And through an interpreter, he said that there's these spacecraft. Again, it could be another show, but I found fascinating. These ships, these structures were near, notice that they're always, a lot of times, near military facilities. And they were interfering with the nuclear codes. And I went, wow. About 2 months later, on the news, it reports that they had documented where these crafts, when they're near nuclear facilities, the codes go, they don't say they mess with it, of course, because they can't say that, but they're saying the codes don't exactly work. And I find that fascinating. Be right for another show.
Right. Okay. Wow. Yep. We could go down that rabbit hole and then some. Tell me one last question about Atlantis. Do you recall what you saw that they?
Well, they thought they had found the remains of Atlantis, and I can't remember. It was probably a month ago or so but I don't know if it was a show or a news or a documentary or something. It was just kind of popped up. I don't think it was a show, but I just can't. And I went, the first person I thought of was you. That's like, I told Marianne about this. Of course, my memory just and just kind of forgot about it. So anyway,
well, and again, that's another show too. But the Bimini Road, I know that is one of the places that they are looking. And the short version of my research, because this eventually will be a PowerPoint presentation about everything that I've gleaned. That reminds me, special speaker in Orlando is going to be talking about Atlantis. But the capital city of the world was the Bahamas, that concentrical cities, the rings like that they talk about, but that's just the way that the cities were laid out at that time, was the circular cities. So there was actually many that had circles around it and then went out. And so Florida would have been where more of the hunter-gatherers was. So this was part of that Bahamian region of Atlantis. Another center would have been Mexico City, and then it would have come out like to the Yucatan. Wow. But if you look where all the major centers are, Egypt and things like that, that's would have been the center of one of those Atlantean rings. So there are many. That's why we keep finding them. But we're looking for just one, and there isn't one. There's many. But Spirit Fest Orlando. I don't want to get off track because St. Petersburg is next weekend, but Spirit Fest Orlando in February. Jim Vieira, stonemason, historical researcher, is going to be a special guest speaker. So I'll put that up. But we have a new website. I want to make sure that everybody sees spiritfestusa.com. And it's got the list of shows for the whole entire year on it. And then I want to remind everybody about your website. If anybody'd like to know more about Jerry, jmacmedium.com, yes. Which looks spiffy, I might add. Your site.
Oh, yes. Small company. Had to get a new company, a very small company. And I love going to small business anyway. And it looks fantastic. It looks so good. So nice, so professional, upgraded. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, exciting.
So let's talk about our topic today, which is karma. And I just put up a little slider there at the bottom. If you would like to get a reading from Jerry a little bit later, please type the request all in caps. We don't ask specific questions. It's more, would you like a message from the other side? And they kind of drive. In other words, but please definitely don't put any personal information in there. So anyway, karma, where do we start?
Oh, here I am. You froze there for a second. I really think it's on my end. I swear. I don't know. For years before I got involved in this, karma's revenge, karma's you know what, rhymes with itch. Won't say that word. It's not a good word. Karma's going to get that person. And one night I was sitting in the circle that I used to belong to. And that's where I discovered my gifts and used my gifts. And it was almost like Spirit was whispering, karma isn't revenge. Karma is enlightenment. I went, okay. Now, if you ask 20 people about definition of karma, you may have about 20 different definition explanations. I know it started in India, in the Hindu religion, just like chakras did. That's where chakras got their start, was in Hinduism. And I have Wikipedia's official definition of karma. The relationship between a person's mental or physical action, the consequences following that action. Cause and effect, right? And so we look at it differently. We look at it past lives and living a karmic life. And again, there's probably karma experts, but I wanted to talk about it because it is a very interesting subject. But what I really pain to hear is when people kind of sweep everything under the karma rug. They kind of blame it on karma. This is my lot in life. This is, I'm being punished because I did something in the past. And Spirit has said it's not necessarily true. Now, I'm not here to coerce, or convince anybody. My side is, this is just what I believe and what I've been told to believe. Oh, extreme close-up. Okay. Hey. Well, you're pretty and I'm bearable. So we'll just leave it like that. And so, I'm working on this third book, which won't be ready in the fall. It'll be ready, I think, 2024. Or really, that's the direction I'm getting from Spirit. And Spirit wants me to write it's called a book of spirit wisdom, meditations from the other side. And Spirit gives me a line and I fill in with what our Spirit wants me to write. And then there's meditations. It's to open the mind, and, Spirit will lead me, I'm sure. If they don't, I'm in trouble. And it's almost like Spirit was saying, no, you can change your destiny. You can manifest your destiny. You can change things. You made mistakes in the past, and that's fine. But if you learn from them, then you won't repeat them, right? And I've only done one past life regression, and it was an eye opener, just an eye opener. In 2 previous lives, I died around the age of 12, violently by a gun. One was in World War II. One was in Spain. probably 100, 200 years before that. And in this lifetime, around the age of 12, I can't remember about what age, but it was in between 10 and 13, somewhere in there. I almost got hit by a car. And if I gotten hit by a car, I gotten flattened. And that changed things for me, you know. And so only by the grace of God and speaking to my mom, who screamed Jerry as I was about to walk out in front of a car going about 45, 50, I'd have gotten flattened and killed. There's no doubt about it. And I guess what I'm trying to say in a clumsy manner is you can change things. You can change destiny. You can change your path. You can make karma work for you and not against you. Don't believe you're punished or you're doomed. And that's what I hear that, Mariana, it drives me crazy. Well, I guess, I just made mistakes in previous life. And this is payback. And everybody makes mistakes in a previous life.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody makes mistakes in a current life. Everybody will make mistakes in future lives. Everybody will make mistakes. And I think somehow a higher self tries to, despite the previous lives, our higher self tries to guide us on that path and make sure that we learn from our mistakes and we go about it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, this sounds crazy. Spirit just told me, to me, there's no such thing as bad luck. It's bad choices.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And see where Spirit wants to lead me now that Spirit told me to say that. And that's it. And a lot of times, and I'm right there. I know we're notorious finger pointers. We don't take credit, for our own bad decisions and choices. And we have free will. And God, the creator, the I am, infinite intelligence, whatever word you want to use, describe God, gives us free will. And we have the chance to change that. And so this karma's revenge is not revenge. I always tell people, listen, the universe can teach you things the easy way or the hard way. And I do a lot of readings for people who have wronged people. And I've done a ton of readings for people who have been wronged. I said, maybe they go, well, revenge is, I said, well, revenge is what? Revenge is, it doesn't give us any satisfaction. What we do is we pray that what that person did to you won't do it to anybody else. What's done is done. And we pray that their higher self, their spirit guides, their soul, enlightens them and they see the error of their ways. Now, if not, the universe is going to say you didn't learn anything. Okay. But it's not revenge. It's not an eye for eye. And so that's.
Well, there's a difference between karma and soul contracts.
Yes.
There are certain things that we have set up to experience that might seem unpleasant, but we actually, chose it.
I want to turn my phone.
What's his name? Life Between Lives, really good book that talks about all the different things we take into consideration when we plan, when we come into this life.
Yeah.
And there are choices that we make there. Now you can opt out of a soul contract if you do think it's too hard. You can tell your guides you want to end it, not your life, but your soul contract if it does seem overwhelming. So you're not necessarily obligated to it here, but karma doesn't have to be bad.
No.
Karma can mean you're experiencing a really good relationship with certain family members or, other certain situations that you've set up because you balanced that in another life. So in this lifetime, you're going to experience really good karma. So,
yeah,
there's a lot of ways to look at it.
Yeah. I think what has bothered me was I've heard people kind of just, give up and just say, this is my lot in life and I'll never experience peace or happiness, or I'll find someone. I'm not a relationship expert or a therapist by any stretch of the imagination. And it must have been a previous life I did this.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
Then change your destiny.
Right.
Maybe that happened. You're not it's not a curse. You're not cursed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're you're an enlightened being, and grab that enlightenment and say, okay, I'm going to change the discourse.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the people, quite honestly, let's face it, don't know anything about spirit guides and soul contracts, but still they wander off the path that they were on. And it
Right.
was a good path. And they said, oh, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doomed. No, you're not doomed. You're not cursed. Bad
Mm-hmm.
luck is not a cloud hanging over you. The choices you've made,
Right.
we've all made. We've all made them. The decisions we've all made.
Yeah.
Some come back to bite us in the butt, not because of karma, but because it was a bad decision. It was a bad choice. There's nothing sacred or spiritual about it. It was just made a bad choice. And guess what? In the future, you'll make good choices.
Right.
And you learn. We have to fall before we can get up
Mm-hmm.
and learn what it's like to fall. So
A
anyway,
lot of karma is created from our reactions too.
yes.
Even if we didn't necessarily do anything, but the reaction that we have could create karma or
Yeah.
something that we need to settle. That's why it's good to put all of these things to rest. Even if maybe we don't really want to, I'd rather put some things to rest in this lifetime than potentially have to deal with them again,
Yeah.
or to see these people again or
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely.
But, mm-hmm, yeah.
But again, there's so much of what we have in the metaphysical world is we have to pay homage to our Hindu brothers and sisters. A lot of it
Mm-hmm.
did originate from Hinduism.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to really acknowledge that. Well, this is going to sound somewhat unintelligent, but sometimes the dots we see in the forehead of people from India, they mean a lot of different things. There's a lot of different meanings depending upon the color of the dot and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it is they're recognizing the third eye and the pineal
Mm-hmm.
gland. It is a boy, if there's any Hindus on, forgive me, this is going to seem very awkward, but as I try to explain it, but it's almost like paying homage, almost
Mm-hmm.
like a Christian wearing a cross,
Mm-hmm.
or a pagan wearing the pagan symbol,
Mm-hmm.
paying homage to their beliefs. And this pays homage to their beliefs as much as a non-Hindu person can articulate that.
That's
So
why to me, spirituality is an everyday thing. That's why it's not just about doing whatever, you'll do and then go to church and asking for forgiveness or whatever, but it's about the thoughts and the forgiveness and monitoring that every day. And I think that that's part of what that is a recognition of that. Yeah.
yeah,
And again, if anybody is on here that can tell us more specifically, but it's a spiritual practice. Literally, that's what it is. It's just trying to acknowledge that. And when somebody pulls out in front of you in traffic and you're and you immediately think about karma and your reaction and what you're wishing upon them at that moment, it does
yeah,
help to know. And no
yeah,
God is going to smite you, or send you to purgatory. If you said a series of bad words which I would never do. Anyway, but
I haven't done it in a long time, like in the past 20, 25 minutes.
many.
Just kidding. Yeah.
But anyway, it's just, it's just monitoring that. And that just makes us a better person. And for me, every day is a rehearsal. We do the
It
best
is.
we can.
Yeah.
So,
It's a great way. That's a great way. That's a great line. It's a great way to look at it. It says,
yeah. Yeah.
you get a chance tomorrow to improve. And, one of my, one of my lines in my prayers at night, sometimes I really forget. I always pray, but I forget some of the lines. One of them is, make me a better person tomorrow than I was today.
That's nice. Mm-hmm.
And hopefully today I was better than I was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Let me control my temper. Lately, it's not my temper, but my language. It reminds me of Joe Pesci and Home Alone.
Yeah.
Except it's more than that, and just, help me calm myself, help me be patient, don't overreact, don't judge.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the big three for me. I'm not patient, I do overreact. And unfortunately.
Some days easier said than done.
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah. So tell you what, let's do a couple of readings and then let's talk about your new presentation
Oh,
here
fantastic.
in Florida. So, Joanne, let's see. I hope you're still with us. If you are, give us a little nod. Let me pull her up here. Joanne would love a message. I'm going to turn this banner off here.
Oh, there she is. Hey, Joanne. You know, Joanne, as she said, Joanne, there was a female from the other side. Um, and again, Joanne, part of my message is a clairvoyant, which means it could be psychic or mediumship. And it also with clairvoyance, Joanne, there's a lot of symbolism. So please keep that in mind. So this female, okay, is either a mother or an aunt. I don't know how old you are, and never would begin to ask, but this female seems to be a little bit older or older. I don't sense a grandmother unless it was a grandmother who was like a mother to you. I always kind of mention that, so please keep that in mind, Joanne. But I saw this person in a cheerleading outfit, uniform, going yay with pom poms. Now, in clairvoyance and even in mediumship, it can be literal or symbolic. Symbolic would mean cheering you on, and I have a feeling she's cheering you on. Or it could be, hey, she was a cheerleader and she's doing validation. She was a cheerleader when she was younger in high school or college, what have you. And so I feel this is more Joanne symbolic, so, which falls into the clairvoyance. Okay. And she's cheering you on for taking the bold step, taking a brave step, and having the courage to stand up and stand out. So almost like you stood up for something that maybe other people wouldn't have stood up for, but you stood up for it. And so please think about that, Joanne. There is something about a trip, or you're going someplace to do something. And I'm just going to say mom, because this has a mom energy. If it's not your mom, I'm not trying to rush her into the spirit world, please don't. But there's just a mother energy about her. Okay. She's banging pots and pans together. Don't think that's a dinner bell, but she's banging pots and pans and just. Okay, Joanne, I really think she was banging pots and pans to get my attention. Now she's got my attention, but she's banging pots and pans. She's got one of those rolling pins. So this is, I don't know if anybody uses rolling pins anymore, where you roll the dough and stuff like that. But back years ago, they were very popular. But she's saying, pay attention to me, and I want her to hear this. Joanne, you are wanted, you are loved, you are needed, you are of value. It's almost like she's really wants to pump you up. And don't get down on yourself. Things are really going to get better. And understand. And as always, she's saying almost like, you're not cursed, almost just like, I guess, this motherly like essence heard us talk. She came in pretty quickly as soon as Mary Ellen said Joanne. And disregard the naysayers. You're going on a journey. This next journey, it's older saying. I'm 68. This is something I would say a long time ago. It's going to blow your mind. Blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. It's almost like she's a hippie of some sort. I love this. I love her already, being a hippie. And she says, okay, this one's way out there, but Joanne, I give you everything I get. So take this. She goes, trust no one but yourself with the finances. And that's something I wouldn't normally say, but she was just so adamant, and she's banging the pots and pans. Like, I'm here. I'm here. I have your attention. And something about Dolly or Dolly Madison or something. And so that's, again, Joanne, if it's random, I pay attention to it. It's not a memory of me. That's one of the things of clairvoyance. You pay attention to the random stuff that you have no memory of. She loves you and is excited for you. And she says, it's almost like you're a businesswoman. Because Joanne, she says, take no prisoners. Just take no prisoners. And almost charge on. That's a UCF. I don't know if she's in Orlando. Anyway, charge forward. Go for it.
Okay.
Thank you, Joanne.
Yeah, Joanne, if you have any feedback, let us know. We're interested to hear, especially about Dolly Madison. I'm wondering if it's the president's wife or the snack cakes. So,
well, if it was me, it would be the snack cakes. We all know that.
At this point, everybody that is asked for a message should get one at this point. So if everybody will hang out with us, we're going to go to, next is going to be Renee.
Hey, Renee, what has she got on her? That is beautiful. What is it? I can't see that symbol. It looks nice, though. Oh, heavy clairvoyance coming. Heavy symbolism, Renee. It's time for, and that's a spirit to me, again, 20 different people. Renee, and you, I think Renee has metaphysical gifts. As soon as I said Renee, it's almost like she has metaphysical gifts. Don't know if she's using them, but she has strong metaphysical gifts. Because I almost started to say, Renee, you know what I'm talking about. And then I stopped. I said, okay, that means she's a medium, or I think she senses loved ones when they're nearby. That makes you a medium. That makes you a medium. When you sense, I don't have that gift. If they're near me, I don't know it. So you have gifts. But spirit, which to me is God's breath of divine energy, right? It's saying it's time for a new set of clothes. It's time for a new set of clothes. It's extremely symbolic. Nobody's commenting on what you're wearing. It's time for a new set of clothes. It's time. It's time, Renee. It's time for a new identity. I don't think the IRS is looking for you, Renee. A new identity. A new identity would be, it's time for new you. It's time for you new. God, this is really symbolic, Renee. I've never heard it spoken like this. You may have a lot of energy. The spirit's coming really strong. It's almost like the clothes you wore for whoever you thought you needed to be, or whoever someone told you that you needed to be, need to be thrown away and burned. Now, again, that's symbolic. So please don't start a fire. It's just that's it. Step into the new you. That's what spirit, step into the new you. This is all motivational. It makes me feel really good. Be aware of your surroundings and be aware of the energy around you, which makes you an empath. Okay. You're a healer and an empath, because those two really go together very strongly. Be aware of your surroundings. When you're going to places that maybe is going to bring you down a little bit, protect yourself. You can say a prayer in the morning, prayer in the evening, or however you want to protect yourself. And spirits talk about a sister. I don't know if this is a sister that's passed, or a sister, or someone who's like a sister, but there's a sister that will help you on your path. This is a brand new path. I think spirit's talking, Marianne, with a lot of stuff, new year. We're only, a couple of weeks from the new year, when the year passed. And they're very excited. Time for new relationships. And I almost heard spirit say a new relationship. So you're married, not going there. New relationship could be new friendship, could be new coworker, could be new whatever. But it's time for a new relationship. Some of the old relationships, here we go with plural, old relationships aren't doing you any good. They're not serving you any purpose. So it's time to find new energy. And you're going to find it's going to be a really good year for you, Renee. Really good year. I've never heard symbolically, Mary Ellen, spirit talk about the clothes. One more quick thing. Gentleman's coming through. Real quick. It's like a father, but I can't make out. Yeah, and he said, I love the old you, I love the new you, I loved you, whatever. And he doesn't feel like he said it enough when he was here. So I feel like this is a father-like essence. If it's not his father, then Renee, I apologize, don't know who it is. But he's giving off a father-like energy. He's talking like a father to a daughter. And he says, forgive yourself for not being perfect, because nobody is.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you, Renee.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Renee. And next we are going to go to Gemma.
Gemma. Oh, she stayed awake just to.
Yes.
Oh, where is she at?
Well, you're the psychic.
I don't know everything. She's from Ireland, isn't she?
No, she's not one of our Irish friends.
Oh, okay.
She's one of our friends.
Yeah, the name's familiar. It's a beautiful name. I am psychic, but you don't know. You don't know everything. Like if I knew everything, I wouldn't have landed in the hospital for 8 months having 2 transplants.
Now, was that karma or was that a soul contract? Don't answer that. We can talk about that later.
Yeah, it's hereditary.
Okay.
All side of my family, men have heart problems. I don't dismiss it like that, but it has come down.
Gemma.
Yeah, Gemma. All right. Spirit wants to talk to you about here we go, using your gifts. It's time to step up. And there's something with animals. There's a connection with animals with her. You know, I'd almost feel like she would start a foundation to help animals. But there's something strong about, animals have souls. Everything has a soul because it's made by the creator. So, it has a DNA of divine within it. And so, travel, some big travel coming up. I'd say within the next, Mary Ellen, probably the next 60 days, there's a trip coming up that's going to help her. I asked Spirit, was it business or personal? And Spirit said, kind of combination of both. I do see, I don't know if Gemma owns her own business, but now this is the year, if she's thought about owning her own business, to putting it together. If she does own her own business, it's time to diversify. It'll bring you more prosperity. It's almost like when it comes to career or money, we all know how you feel, Gemma. She could be a billionaire for all I know, but I don't get that sense. We all feel like beating our head against a brick wall at times. You are definitely a healer. Your touch, your gentle touch, and trying to quell conflicts Spirit says, is really amazing. But you do find yourself in the middle of conflicts quite a bit because everybody is kind of drawn to your energy, Gemma. Everybody's drawn to your energy. And so, I would just say, don't drain yourself. Don't really drain yourself. I'm glad you stayed awake. And tonight in your dream, something's going to be revealed. Spirit said, and I don't know if you'd keep a dream journal. I don't. I should, but I don't. I'd just be transparent. But it's like some information or something's going to be revealed in a dream tonight is like an answer to one of your questions, because I do feel like you're at crossroads of a lot of things. Where do I go? And Spirit's going to reach out. And so I'm going to leave that with you, Gemma. And it's pretty exciting stuff.
You'll have to let us know. Yes, that does sound exciting. Yeah. I tried to get my favorite corgi, don't tell the other corgi, to come over here and say hello, but he wants no part of it. I think actually he's downstairs looting, which the corgis are really good at doing every now and then. So
yeah, that's
I'm not sure if he'll get to make a guest appearance tonight or not. So anyway, but thank you for staying awake with us.
Yes, thank you, Jim.
We're going to get to more readings, but before we do, I want to talk about, for those of us that are in Florida, if you'd like to meet Jerry, Spirit Fest, St. Petersburg is this coming weekend, all day Saturday and Sunday. Let me see here. There's the details, January 21, 22. Yay. We start at 10 a.m. each day, but Jerry has a very special presentation, and it's also a mediumship gallery, just like you've been doing, but it's a mediumship gallery and more. That's actually what we should call it, mediumship gallery and more.
Yeah.
Inside the afterlife, Spirit speaks, and Jerry is going to be talking about everything that he's learned. Done a really great slideshow, even on what happens when we die. So go ahead and just describe it a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it was Mary Ellen's idea, which is a really good idea, and so Mary and I have been going back and forth of mixing the two, combining the two. So what I'm probably going to do for the first 30, 45 minutes, what have you, is go through things such as what do people have in common when they cross over and come back, near-death experiences. What questions do I get? I get a lot of questions. I can tell you one question: is there a heaven or a hell? That's one. I won't answer it now. Not saying you have to come to get the answer. I'm just saying that's not what we're doing tonight. I get this every now and then, any famous people that have come through. And there's been 3. well-known people, if they're famous, that they were connected to the person. They're not connected to me. I don't know any famous people. I do know some way back in my early genealogy, but they wouldn't come through for me. They got to come through the person receiving the reading. And yeah, signs. What sign? I'm gonna reveal the 3 most unusual signs loved ones have left. So unusual. There's a story behind each one. Just a really unique. It just blows your mind because you go, okay, I'll tell the person. Really, you want me to say that? Oh yeah. They'll get it, and I go, okay, here we go, and then go, oh my god, yeah. And so I'm excited about that. Some of the things I may cut back on, Mary Ellen, so I can get to more messages. But I mean, the first 30, 45 minutes, we're going to be talking about that. And then we're going to get into messages. And I think people will see, that the continuity of life, which is what spiritualism teaches us. The continuity of life is life continues. And they're there to help us. And all this information of the people who passed over and come back is so valuable, valuable. And I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to show them that they have gifts, and it won't take that much energy to show them that they all have gifts. And whether they do this or not, or do what you're doing or not, they have gifts and they can reach to the other side for wisdom, knowledge, peace, happiness, love, all those great things. So I'm very excited about it. Very excited. And it'll be our first show. It'll be our first show in St. Pete.
Yes, it will. And I put the website down there, spiritfestusa.com, for more information. You just go to the page for the St. Pete show. There's discounted admission on there. So anyway, so check it out. So very excited about that. All right, let's get back to the readings here. People are patiently waiting. So Anita would like a message for her or her husband, which was very nice. So I'll let you pick.
Do I know this person? I think I do. I'll leave messages for both of you real quick. First of all, for your husband, Anita, I know this person. I shouldn't have known me, that's fine, but the name and the energy is real familiar. But Anita, first for your husband, success is measured in several different ways. And Anita, there's 2 gentlemen, and I'm hearing brothers. So Anita, it may be a father and a brother. So it would be your husband's father, or they're just 2. And I'm getting brothers, and I'm getting the father essence and brothers energy, and they're proud of him, unless he lost 2 brothers, and they're saying, please quit comparing yourself to other people. You're a success. You make us proud. There's a lot of people, Anita, around your husband, a lot of loved ones. There's a grandfather really, really proud, and a grandparents need to come through with a different essence, a different energy, and they're proud of what he does. I felt your husband, Anita, was in an accident of some sort, and I just feel that the accident and there's energy around it. Like I can't do the things I used to do, or it really took me back. Set me back. I guess that's the phrase I'm trying to look for. Set me back, right? And so these loved ones are like, no, you're still here. You're still with us. You beat the odds. It's almost like he was in something happened. He survived and he beat the odds. And if that doesn't make sense, they're pretty adamant about it. You beat the odds, and they're proud of him. And he needs to know that they're proud of him. And he's a great man, That's like one of the best compliments, that a family member can give to a male is, you're a great man. Anita, you have a lot of energy. And here we go with previous lives. I do think, I don't know if one or both of you were in a relationship, we can call it marriage, whatever you want to call it, before, but it's almost like you went through, okay, here's what Spirit is saying. You stumbled through relationships. We all stumble through. And a stumble means we just keep searching until we find what we're looking for. And you two were in a previous life together. Oh my gosh, back in medieval times. My favorite time is medieval times. I'd have been the worst knight in the world, though. If I was jousting, I'd just drop the joust and start running. I don't know that I had. But Anita, I don't know what you do, but it is time for a change. And I feel this is career, business, work, what have you. It is time for change. It's time for you. This is going to seem like Jonathan Livingston Seagull type poem. You're probably too young to remember that. Spread your wings and fly. It's just like there's a mundaneness about what you're doing, a day in, day out, almost like punching the clock, but maybe you're not literally punching the clock, but you feel like punching the clock. So it's time for you to do something like artistry. It's like an artist. There's creativity around you, Anita. And so I'm very excited about that. A female came through real at the very end because they know we got to move. And just said, very, very proud. Love you. Love your hair. This is almost a mother or grandmother. It might be a grandma. It's hard for me to tell because again, I just pick up on the essence, Mary Ellen. I pick up on the energy, and grandmothers a lot of times are like a mother to their granddaughter sometime. And I don't know if that's the case here, but love your hair. Love how you treat people. This is a grandmother. I'm sorry. It's the energy is just so overwhelming. Love how you treat people because you treat them with kindness. And thank you for remembering where you came from. Thank you, Anita.
Beautiful. Okay. Let's go to Katrina on the anniversary of her mom's death.
Oh, Katrina. First of all, for everybody, I'm sorry for your losses. It doesn't matter if they were 2 months ago, 3 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Katrina, I'm seeing one of those, back in the day, oh my God, they still use them. Marianne, those tall, like windmills that kind of see on farms and kind of like I don't know. And I'm seeing that. So I don't know if that's symbolic from where your mom was. I'm now getting, I don't know if there's anything Kansas connected with your mom, but she comes through. It's almost like she's telling me the cancer is gone. And rarely do I see somebody talking about their illness, but she says it's gone. It doesn't eat me up anymore. And I asked real quick, what? She said cancer. If she didn't die of cancer, didn't pass the cancer, then I don't know. But she comes through with mom. She comes through almost like a bird. Now, if you live near water, you could see this, but seagulls are near the sea. Some of them go inland. I get it. And we mistake other birds for seagulls. Butterflies, big sign from her. You'll see a bunch of on the anniversary. And the day of the anniversary, Katrina, is when that veil is real thin between the physical world and the spiritual plane. Between the earth plane and the spiritual world. I'm sorry, I got my wires crossed. That happens a lot, Katrina. I like this woman, I swear. She is rocking and rolling. I mean, she misses you a lot, but she's not in pain anymore. And she's not in pain. And she knows that I'm kind of not trusting what I'm hearing, but that's my analytical side. And oh my gosh, she just called me a knucklehead. That's my favorite word, is a knucklehead. She was just telling what I tell you to say. And something about teeth. I don't know if she says you have like beautiful teeth or something about teeth, and that's pretty specific. And that is, or maybe she's talking about her teeth. I don't know, but it's teeth, right? Which is normally, but it's almost like, Katrina, in the last few days, you saw a sign from her. So I said, well, tell me. I think one of the things you saw, I don't know where you live, Katrina, was a rainbow. And just there's a lot of color with her. Uh, and she said, in the last days of her life were black and white and gray. Not a lot of white, but black and gray and dark and dim, and everything is bright. And she thanks you for taking care of her. Thanks you for taking care of her. And whether you were there or not physically, she heard you talk. She felt your energy. She heard your thoughts. Um, and so she was very excited about what you're going to do in 2023. Don't I think she said, don't worry about the boy. He'll be fine. And I'm hoping that makes sense.
Okay.
And so thank you, Katrina. And she gives you much love. And just watch for the butterflies, watch for all the signs, watch for the rainbows. It's a lot of signs. And the day of her anniversary of passing, there should be a lot of signs from her. And you'll feel her. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Nicole.
Nicole Verdi. Okay. Just the energy around her name, and I don't see the pictures clearly. They come across as very small, which is good because that way you're not looking at somebody picking up on anything. But Nicole, I got to tell you, it is a time for traveling. It's time for discovery. It's a time to navigate. Your spirit calls you an escape artist, like you've been able to escape perilous relationships or situations or what have you. And so Spirit's applauding you for that. You're almost like the Lewis and Clark of the sacred world here. It is a time to travel. So this year should be a time for travel. I don't know where your heritage is. Excuse me. But I do see like some type of travel to like Europe. Don't worry about here we go with relationships again. I feel like Dr. Phil. Don't worry about relationships that don't work out. They weren't meant to. If you listen to what Mary Ellen was talking about, she's a really good expert on soul plans and soul contracts and stuff like that. And they do exist. They do exist. And by the way, folks, the Akashic records are very real. You look in the Bible, it's referred to as the book of life.
Oh.
So a lot of people don't know that. I looked it up because I'm still Catholic. Kind of. You're still Catholic. But Nicole, this is a year for brand new relationships. And Spirit wants you to adopt a more childlike attitude. They love the energy. You have the energy of a child. And that's what Spirit loves. That's what the universe loves. And so, I don't know if I see a child in spirit. I just heard child. And I don't see a child in spirit, but I feel there's one there. And the cause, it's got to be attached to you. And I say to you or somebody in your family, it's attached to your tribe, let's say. It could be mom, could be a sister, could be an aunt that lost a child. It could be you. But that child still lives. And something happened, last thing, Nicole, something happened almost traumatic about 5 or 6 years ago. Something real 5 or 6 years ago. And Spirit is saying, don't listen. Don't take on other people's issues. It wasn't your fault. Don't accept blame for something somebody else did or something that you can't control. And wake up tomorrow with an attitude that you can manifest your destiny. Okay, you can manifest your dreams, and you do have some dreams, and manifest them by believing in them. And 23 is going to be great. The numbers are good. 2, 2, and 3 is 7. So the number is really good for 2023. And I'm not a numerology expert. I just listen. I just hang around a lot of smart people like Mary Ellen, and that's how I come up with all this knowledge. Nicole, thank you very much. And relax. And when you go to bed, put your head on a pillow. Just relax and know everything's going to be okay.
All right, very good. We have time for just one more reading. Let's go to Jeanette.
Jeanette Jones, please add me to the list. Jeanette, you're added. First thing that jumps right out, Jeanette, is Spirit says you're a problem solver, and the challenge is you solve. Everybody wants you to solve their problems. You got your own problems. We all do, and don't drain yourself taking on the issues and the problems of the world, and don't feel you have to. I think you're the glue. There's like a circle of people, and you're at the center. They're going, I don't know what to do. What would Jeanette do? And so Spirit says, please don't take on, because nobody can do that, Jeanette. Nobody can take on the issues of the world, our world, our universe, right? I'm not talking about globally or anything outside the earth. I'm talking about our issues, our stuff that's way beyond our reach. This is a time to conserve your energy and do what Jeanette wants to do. Jeanette, there's a female on the other side coming through. I don't know how she passed. I'm getting a feeling of downtrodden, like she was beat down. It doesn't mean physically, just and succumbed to death. And I know that's a overly dramatic way. That's the way Spirit put it. So I don't know how this person passed. I feel they were more of a sister to you because of sister energy. So you might be able to tell who this is. And roses are real important. She's holding out roses extended to you. Could be her name was Rose. I don't do well with names. I'll tell you up front. But there's roses. She's giving you roses as a token of appreciation. And so this person seems close to you. I just don't know the relationship. Right? I can't make out the relationship. There's smoke around her. I just saw smoke around her. Smoke, but it's almost like a fog and hazy. And I'm sorry if I'm going quickly. It's just, I know we got to wrap up the show, and I don't want to cut you short. I want to give you your due diligence. And thank you for hanging in there. God, I feel like this is a sister, Mariana. I really, really do. Doesn't have to be a blood sister. And I feel there's some tragedy involved with this woman. I feel sad. I think she's at peace now, but I feel sad. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Jeanette. I'm so sorry. Jeanette, I know some people like that. Trust me, I do. And well, she's at peace now. She's at peace now, and she absolutely loves the woman that you've become, the woman that you are, and the relationships that you've developed and the energy that you have. It's almost like every mistake, this is her now, Jeanette, every mistake you've made, honey, let me go back. Every mistake I've made, you've corrected in your life. And she lives vicariously, if I'm using that word correctly, Mariana, she lives vicariously through you. And she just loves to hang around you. And she said, if anything, let my life be a lesson of what not to do. And if that's what my life is, it served a purpose. And roses are a sign. If you see roses, dogs are a sign. I don't know what kind, but little bitty dogs like Mary Ellen has. And so if you see not that, well, yeah, probably. But if you see just a little dog walking, it's almost like whether she had one, whether, Jeanette, you had one, it's just that makes her smile and happy. And she wants you to look at a dog and just smile. For all I know, Jeanette, you may be allergic to dogs. So, but it just makes her smile to see a dog. Yeah. And, yeah, she made some tough choices. A lot of people do, Jeanette, a lot of people do, but you don't have to, you can learn from them. Thank you, Jeanette. And the anniversary, think of your mom's. She said, think of my smile and something she wore around her neck that was some type of, I don't know. She said, think of my smile and just think of something I wore around my neck. And hopefully it'll give you good memories.
That's
Because
nice.
she says, because you give me good memories. Thank you,
Aw.
Jeanette. Thank you,
No,
Jeanette.
that's a beautiful affirmation of life after death. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it is. It is wonderful.
Well,
And
thank you everyone for tuning in. We really
thank you.
appreciate it. And again, if you'd like to meet Jerry in person this weekend, Spirit Fest at St. Petersburg, Florida, at the Coliseum, spiritfestusa.com for all the details. If like to know more about Jerry, jmacmedium.com, and about how you might be able to get a longer reading with Jerry, and more info about you. So, and Jerry, we thank you so much for your time and your gifts.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you to
appreciate
all
it.
those people that were on. Just great people. Just very, very, very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, we look forward to seeing you this weekend.
All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.